So good morning, people. So yesterday I got a call from the DEEP on 1241 Boston Post Road. Friends, this is the most alarming situation that we are facing in Westbrook. 1241 Boston Post Road is connected to Westbrook Auto, which is not far from Christie's, and it's not far from the Turtle Restaurant. How many people have gotten sick from eating at either of those two restaurants, from drinking the water, etc.? Most alarming is your first selectman has been in office for far too long. He no longer cares about you. He gets free medical care and he's taken care for the rest of his life because he's been in for how many terms. It's time for you guys to stand up and take a stand. If you don't take a stand, this is just going to get worse. In my book that will be coming out somewhere down the road, A Widow's Journey to Self-Discovery, Corruption in Westbrook, Connecticut, and F-Troop police departments, you guys will see the truth. I have documentation that both the soil and the water are contaminated. It was never cleaned up. It was never followed up. As I told the guy who wrote the initial investigation, the death of Marjorie McCarthy and Bob McCarthy is on his hands because he did nothing. It's also on Michael Montanero's and BPR 1241 Boston Post Road, LLC. Sadly enough, there's another family living in that apartment. They will be faced with unexplained rashes on their face and bodies. They'll be faced with the possibility of cancer, and that's all because the DEEP is refusing to get the soil and the water cleaned up. To put people at risk like this is beyond disgusting and disbelief. This is our country working for us today. You guys sit there and say that I'm wrong. I'm not. You know who I am and you know how to contact me. I am willing to share the documentation that I have. I've already paid dearly for speaking out. My son has been attacked by the state police and local police for speaking up and bringing all these things to light. Sadly enough, this is corporate America. It's all about the almighty dollar and not the health and the welfare of the American people. I am sure that this goes far deeper than I realize. Upon the investigation, I found out that the Levy Group is connected to Michael Montanero in some way, shape, or form. I will continue to dig, as I've already lost everything that I've ever loved or had close to me. If at some point I need to leave the state to protect myself for my safety, then I'm going to have to do so. But until then, I cannot protect that family that's living in our old apartment. They're living in a state of euphoria, thinking they have this great apartment, when really you're being slowly poisoned to death. Bob and Marjorie lived there for about 40 years until the apartment was robbed. I could also prove that Mr. Pacillo, the constable, and the F-Troop lied. Bob did pay the rent. Why would I have a rent receipt dated November 2013 if he hadn't paid the rent? And then I got a letter from State Trooper F-Troop claiming he hadn't paid it in 9 months. You can see that F-Troop did not do the initial investigation like they were supposed to. And this is another reason why not to live in Westbrook. You're not safe there. And I pray for the people who live in that town every day, and the same way with Middletown. Because corruption is like a spider web. It weaves its ugliness all throughout our state.